What's up, my boy?
What's up with you, bro?
Good?
Yep.
Man, good afternoon, y'all. Today, I'm here with my man, Nakeem Johnson. Recently transferred here to Kent State about a year ago. Came from Syracuse, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Came here and he made an impact very quickly. You know, he was leading, he's making plays, he's doing everything you ask him to do. And he's a real special dude because not only does he carry himself with some broad shoulders on the field and off the field, but on top of that, he also runs his own business, and it's called No Questions. You see the apparel. After this, I'm going to have the link in the bio. Y'all go cop. Very comfortable. I love it.
Yes, sir.
But I want you to go ahead and tell them a little bit about your story, a little bit about why your brand is called No Questions, and just a little bit about your football history, why you transferred. Tell them a little bit.
Well, to start with No Questions, it's all about my football career, man. I feel like it had been up and down for me, even coming out of high school when it came to getting recruited and stuff like that. But just to talk about my journey throughout college, man, I feel like I was at the top, I was at the bottom. I did a lot of work. I had to put a lot of work in to get myself into positions where I can be able to help myself as well as help my team and become who I wanted to become. And I feel like we all face those adversities, but sometimes we don't know how to dive in and just focus just on that and overcome it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all been at that point where we felt like our back's against everybody and our back's always against the wall, but we gotta find a way to be able to prevail through. You know what I'm saying? And, like, that's definitely important, and that's what No Questions is to me. Like, I came in as a freshman. We had two All-American receivers who were doing a great job, man. Irvin Phillips and Steve Ishmael, those guys were amazing. I learned a lot from those guys. Those guys taught me the way. Me being able to play the game the way I played was modeled after those guys, watching film on them every single day in practice. Even from the summertime when I first got there, watching them in 7-on-7. I watched those guys' games. I studied them. I wanted to be something like them or even better. You know what I'm saying? To be able to put my mark on college football. And after doing that, I earned myself a little bit of time on the field. I was able to prove myself to show that I can get it done. Coaches wanted to put me in situations where they felt as though I could make plays, and I felt as though I came through as I needed to, like a freshman. Then, when those guys left, it was nothing but opportunity for people to step up. So I felt as though I definitely did that. I stepped up to the plate. You know what I'm saying? I balled hard. I fought hard. I gave my teammates respect, especially from when I first got there, because all I'm about is work. That's what No Questions is. All action, no talking. I know you see it on the hat. It's just about putting in work. You know what I'm saying? And after my sophomore season, which I had a good year, I felt as though it was a lot more that I could have done. But at the same time, you can't cry over spoiled milk. Like, what happened is what happened. You gotta put in more work to be able to move forward onto your next, you know what I'm saying, chapter in the book or next step in the journey. You know what I'm saying? And moving on to my junior year, I got hurt in the springtime. That really set me back for real. Like, mentally, physically, I wasn't able to be the same way that I was before. You know what I'm saying? It was a long process for me to come back. And when I did come back, unfortunately, I just wasn't where I needed to be able to perform for the team, especially the way that the coaches looked at it. Like, me doing what I normally do on the field, even though I'm fast, but I wasn't as fast and explosive as I supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there was more work that needed to be put in before I was going to be able to be that guy that I was the year before. So, and throughout that process, like, I had to find something that was going to be able to keep me true to myself and true to my goals and what I needed to do, you know what I'm saying, in order to become better. And that's what No Questions was. Like, I'm originally from Washington, D.C. We say no questions anytime. Like, somebody can ask you a question or somebody say something to you, be like, oh, no questions, you know what I'm saying? So I took that and I'm running with it, you know what I'm saying? Like, literally, it's no questions. You know what you got to get done. You got to do it. You got to get straight to it. Like, that's just what it is.
You got to do it. You got to get
like,
straight to it. You got to. You ain't got no other choice.
No other
no
choice.
Questions.
You feel me? Like, it's all about the action. Like, we all sometimes we want to live in these fantasies, and I've done it myself. Like, living in fantasies where you supposed to be this and you deserve this, but we don't deserve nothing unless we earn it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what we got to do. No question. So when the time gets rough, you gotta gravitate to a mindset that's gonna keep you focused on the vision, and that's what No Questions did for me.
Yeah.
It kept me focused on me and the vision.
Nah, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I needed that, cause that put a spark in me that I felt as though I always had a fire about me. You know what I'm saying? Coming where I come from, making it from out of my, you know what I'm saying, my situation and my living circumstances and stuff like that. But I always had a family and people around me that definitely cared for me. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to learn a lot and be able to stay focused. I wasn't doing everything on my own. I'm not gonna sit here and say I ain't had no help with nothing. We all need guidance. We all need help. That's the only way we gonna be able to move forward.
Every time.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
ain't gonna be
Like,
successful by yourself.
you can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if anybody tell you that that's what it is, like, yeah, it's lonely at the top. But like, you gonna need some people that's gonna be down for you.
Got to.
It's either gonna tell you no, gonna tell you yeah,
Right.
or tell you when to relax, or tell you when to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the end of the day, the biggest part in that is like you do know yourself better than anybody else. And that's what I had to gravitate to No Questions. And No Questions, like whenever if I'm questioning anything, that means I ain't do everything that I had to do.
Yeah. That's spot on right there. What, I got a question. You said everybody goes through that stage in life where you almost feel like everybody want to see you lose. Like everybody against you. And you're right, I do think everybody goes through that.
Right.
And when you were going through that, obviously your mindset was no questions, I gotta keep going. But what are some things that helped you like develop that mindset? You know what I'm saying? Like what are some things that got you to that mindset? You know what I'm saying?
I'm a guy that likes to sit back a lot and think about situations and scenarios and stuff that actually plays out. Like I'm very analytical. Like I pay attention to the details because I feel like that's the only way that we gonna be able to keep moving forward. You gotta see every little detail in and out in order to be able to create a business or even create a name for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it all starts with you knowing yourself, understanding when you reaching your capacity. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different things that goes into that.
It's the little things.
It's always the little things. You know what I'm saying? And me sitting back, like listening to music, like I make music in the meantime too. Like I'm not trying to be a rapper, none of that. Like I make music to talk about the living situations that I'm actually going through and the stuff that I've been through, and I only make it for that specific reason. Like I'm not. I could freestyle and make a song and try to gain a crowd and do all of that, but I'm really just putting out music to tell people my story. It's a different way, you know what I'm saying? Just like I'm using this clothing, like it's not about the clothes, it's about the mindset and the message and everything that we pushing off to the people and what I want us to understand that we have within ourselves. Like our coach has said the best, like we all have greatness within ourselves, but you have to sit down with yourself
And
in the
find
dark
it.
moments and find
You
that.
gotta find it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Everybody different. You gotta find yours.
for sure.
Gotta find it.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what honestly helped me. Me writing these lines, sometimes I'm writing a message to myself in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was going through the process of transferring from Syracuse after my senior year, like, I spent a lot of time in the studio. And the reason why I spent a lot of time in the studio was specifically because I was trying to work on the album that I was going to put out on the 1st of the new year. And the reason for me doing that was to set in stone what was going to happen this year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to manifest what you want out here. You know what I'm
gotta see
saying?
it. You
Like,
gotta see it before it happens.
like, and one of the truest things that I ever heard is, like, you really got to see it through. You know what I'm saying? Like, and with me putting that out, sometimes I find myself victim because I put out another album that I don't even listen to my old album because that was the initial message that I need to be listening to right now. It's like we all going through our things.
Yeah. I like that.
You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
I like that right there.
Right.
I see how you did that.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's like I felt as though like I kind of shied away from that. And that's on myself. And I got I still got time to be able to sit back and understand that. Like, see what the message was and see what you came here to do and see what your opportunity presented itself and showed you what it was going to be.
And do you.
And do you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
everything. It's respect to everything. Respect to the game. Respect to the world. You know what I'm saying? Respect to yourself.
the life. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
literally.
Like, that's what it is. Like,
What would you say your purpose in life is? Like, I know I see what you're trying to promote to the world.
Yeah.
You're trying to give back essentially.
for sure.
You're trying to show everybody, you know what I'm saying? This is how you should live your life. You know what I'm saying? With no questions, all go, green light, all that. You know what I'm saying? But what would you say your purpose is? Like, what's your purpose for developing this business? What's your purpose for playing football? Like, what do you think your purpose for being on this earth is?
As far as my purpose for being on this earth, it's definitely to lead. And if I'm being honest, it's to lead, but at the same time, I still got a lot of learning about myself and the world to understand and really be able to fulfill that purpose.
To really be able to lead others.
Yeah.
Because you got to know it all before you can. You got to be able to lead yourself before you can lead others.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to be able to govern myself and
right.
stuff like that. But as far as, like, my purpose, the reason why I'm playing football, like, I got to change my family circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Like, watching what my mom been through and looking at the effects that it has down the future.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to provide, like, you know what I'm saying, a welcoming environment to my kids that they can be able to do whatever they got to do. They don't got to struggle financially, you know what I'm saying? They don't got to see a bunch of different things going on and not understand what it is. And there's a lot of things happening around them. And then they learn a lot of bad habits and good habits from just based on the environment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you want your kids to grow up the best of the best, like as best as possible.
as best as possible. I'm not gonna say the best of the best, because at the end of the day, what's the best?
Right,
of the
what's
best?
the best? Your definition is the best. Whatever you think is the best.
You know what I'm saying? I just want to be in a situation where I feel as though everybody's comfortable. Like, coming up, I feel as though, like, when it came to going to camps, if I ain't had my man Kelvin Bryson, a lot of my dreams and stuff that I'm able to chase right now, and I wouldn't have been able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because my parents wasn't able to provide that for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was just my mom. You know what I'm saying? She was doing it by herself.
Right.
I don't want to create that environment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want my kids to be able to be like, all right, this is what I want to do, man. Like, I'm like, man, I'm gonna help you see that through. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you put your all into, I'm gonna help you see that through. You know what I'm saying? And I felt as though, like, my little brother now, like, he able to get training and all of that. Like, he about to be bigger than me and everything. Like, he gonna be better than me. But at the end of the day, I'm still going with this, because at the end of the day, I set the
stone.
I set the foundation for them. You feel me? Like, so I got to step. You know what I'm saying? I told myself what I was going to do, so I'm going to do it. That's just what it is.
Every time.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what no questions is. I told myself I'm going to get it done, so I got to.
I'm going to get it done. Yeah.
I got to. You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm damn good at what I do. I got to continue to grow and become better. That's all it is. And we all got to do that.
You can always get better every day.
You know what I'm saying? It's just about maturing, and I feel like I'm doing a lot of that as I'm getting older. You know what I'm saying? I'm 22 years old now, but I feel as though I'm learning a lot more to be able to take those steps in the right direction to become a better version of myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I feel like my purpose is on the football field. Like, God didn't bless me with the speed and the agility that I got. You know what I'm saying? And the gifts that I have, just, you know what I'm saying?
Just to not use it.
Not to use it.
You're going to use it, you feel me?
And it's just all like I'm telling everybody this, you know what I'm saying, that's out there, like, I'm not the biggest dude on the field, but at the end of the day, like, I'm out there to play a game. And the game is football. So when I step out there, I'm out there to do my job. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it's about. It don't matter about no size. You're
going to play the game.
You know what I'm saying? You just got to play the game. Everybody else want to create all this outside noise, but it's on you to, you know what I'm saying, be able to block all that out and just do you. If you gifted at what you do, be gifted. You know what I'm saying? To show that to everybody. You don't got to prove nothing. Just go out there and show it. This is what you do. So be who you are at all times. Just, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Like,
that's the message right there. I got one more question for you. What would you go back and tell your 10-year-old self? What advice would you have gave yourself of what you know about life now? What do you wish you could have told yourself?
I wish I'd have been smarter.
Smarter.
Like, I will always say, like, I was always good in the classroom situation. I was always able to, you know what I'm saying, move an audience and be able to talk to a crowd and stuff like that. I always had those abilities. I always had my God-given abilities, you know what I'm saying? With the
bring
sports
good
and
energy.
stuff, good energy and stuff like that. But I felt as though, like, from 10, I seen a lot of traumatic situations, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to glorify about none of that, but at the end of the day, like, that's just what it was.
What it was. But it's something 10-year-old shouldn't be seeing.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, me growing up in the environment, seeing all of that stuff is like, you don't know what life you want to chase. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who you want to be. You feel me? Like, you think, because you see everybody around you pulling up with the whips and everything, you know what I'm saying? You wondering where they getting that money from. You know they ain't doing nothing as far as this, you know what I'm saying, this the right way, you feel me? If I could put it in any simpler. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel as though I was intrigued by that for a while, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know what a scholarship was to go to college to play football, none of that, until I went to DeMatha my freshman year in high school, and I'm seeing dudes like Anthony McFarland and them getting scholarships. I didn't even know what that was.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that I wasn't even watching college football. We ain't had cable, so I wasn't even watching stuff like that. Like, I ain't know that. I'm thinking these dudes is just going to the colleges and trying out for the football team, just like how we did in high school. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm
you ain't know they
thinking.
paying for your school.
Yeah, I didn't know about none of that.
Yeah.
Like, even with me going to DeMatha, I had to pay that money to go there because that was a private school.
Right.
That's why I ended up transferring and going to friendship, because we wasn't even going to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we could sit here and talk about the story for days, you know what I'm saying, and for hours. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot that went into this decision. I feel like I've been thinking my whole life, you know what I'm saying? Like,
every day you think to yourself.
You feel
Talking
me?
to yourself.
All the time, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, the story can keep going on and on and on, but at the end of the day, it's just like, what's right in front of us right now, it's the bigger picture of everything that we done already seen before. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have some type of direction going somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And I felt as though, like, I always knew football was gonna be my, you know what I'm saying, my way that I was gonna get it done.
Your main source.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, I graduated Syracuse University with my degree. Graduated high school as well too. So it's like, I always was good with the book. So if I need to do whatever I gotta do in that regard, I could do that too.
But you know what you're doing.
But I know what I'm doing.
And you're gonna do it.
You feel me? And that's just what it is. And when I learn more about the respect to the game and what comes with it, you know what I'm saying, and what you can do with it, that's what hit home for me. Cause like, I remember like being that kid that needed a lot of help, and it was, and without, like I said, without KB, I don't think I'd be sitting here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And more people like him need to get more recognition, and that's what I want to do on the larger scale. You know what I'm saying? To be able to connect to these young men. Like, I could go on and on. Like, I got you know what I'm saying, one of my young homies, you know what I'm saying, from Saratoga, you know what I'm saying? Like, he like that at what he do, you know what I'm saying, on the field. And I know he is, but
he's not getting the recognition.
It's not even that. He's focused on a lot of other things because of situations that happen around him. You know what I'm saying?
What he's seeing.
And what he's seeing in his everyday life.
And that's what you're going to try to do, is help out and show him the way.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Make them be like, man, look, bro, man, follow this path, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't go down that way.
That ain't it. That ain't it.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, this way.
Don't go down that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be smarter and do it this way. Let's do it the cleaner way, because you can always still be yourself while doing it.
And you're capable of doing it.
You feel me?
Capable of doing it.
So that's just what it was for me. Like, I just wanted to be able to, like, connect. You know what I'm saying? It's all about connection. Like,
every time.
And you connect with people in different ways. Like me, I feel as though I could connect with people on the business scale. I always can connect with people in the football world. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loves sports.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And people tune into athletes, and I feel as though I'm gonna definitely be a positive representation of what it should be. But I'm gonna always be myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And tell my story and tell it how it is. Like, I don't have to go into greater detail about the stuff that we done seen and the stuff that we done been through and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like,
you get the gist.
You understand what's going on. You feel me? And that's all that we here to do, is like put on for the people who thought they didn't have a chance, but everybody does have one. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta pick the path or figure out what your journey gonna be and how you gonna get there. You know what I'm saying? And what you gonna focus on, what's your niche gonna be. It don't have to be football. It could be anything. But always believe in yourself, at least.
That's real right there. That's real talk right there. As real as it gets. But hey, I just want to say I appreciate you taking time out of your day, coming here and just delivering nuggets to the audience. That's what they needed, you feel me? And keep going. Keep going. No questions. No question. That's why I'm going to live my life too. No question. We all go. But I appreciate you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. The winner way, we out.